What is up, YouTube? I'm LTW7 here, bringing you our Week 7 game of the APM. This week we take on Puffer, coach of the Long Island Psyducks. We are going into this game with a 5-1 record, while my opponent is going into this game with a 6-0 record. Now, before we get into anything, make sure to go check out Puffer in the description below. He's been uploading the APM as well as me, so his YouTube link will be in the description below. Great content. But anyway, this might seem like a big game because we're 5-1 and he's 6-0. This is a battle of some of the top teams in the league. But it's not really going to be that much of an important game, as Puffer is bringing some heat. And while I'm not bringing my best team against Puffer, because the chances that we face in playoffs are high-ish, the trend is that my team is going to be a little more tryhard, as you will see throughout the battle today. So I just want to let you guys know that before we get into anything else in this video. If we do win, we move up to the either first or second place in the league, depending on how Savage King goes. The way the league works is that there's like the top three teams, me, Puffer, and Savage King, not in that order. And then the rest of the coaches are, they're there. So that's kind of how the breakdown of the league has been so far this season. This team builder will not be long because, again, we might face them in playoffs. And even though I'm probably not going to bring most of these sets, there could be a few niche things I have on some of these sets that I could bring again. Probably not, but it's still a chance it could because I haven't built, obviously, for that game if it even happens. So just to let you guys know that. And that is going to be it for this intro, and we're going to just break down his team. So, my opponent Puffer's team this week consists of Politoed, Heliolisk with Z-moves, Ampipom with Z-moves, Cofagrigus, Ludicolo, Escavalier, Hitmonchan, Mr. Mime, Articuno, and Sandslash. What he could bring almost any combination of 6 Mons that he has on screen, to be completely honest, because it's, again, not the most serious game in the entire world. The only thing I was really not expecting was Rain to come. I wasn't really expecting the Politoed or the Ludicolo to come, or if they were to come, not to be like a Rain course type of set. I just felt like that wasn't going to be a thing he'd do. But he does have, instead of like trying to break down what is good against my team, what's bad against my team, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go over what his team is, like legitimately, because I actually really do like his team a lot. Heliolisk is a really cool mon to use. I've used it in the past. I used it in Gen 6, actually. It was really awesome. Articuno, you guys saw in my APM streams, if you watched them, that I used Articuno that season. It works pretty effectively in some games. And he's also got like the Sandslash. I've used that before. It's pretty cool. As well as Politoed is another cool mon. Politoed I have not used though, but I know Politoed, especially in lower tiers, can do a lot of different things. If it's Politoed in higher tiers, it's like, yeah, it can kind of set up Rain, and that's sort of it. Like, it can do other things, but it's not really that good at it. But while it's in lower tiers, it can actually do a decent amount of things. So that thing could be... It could be a threat, I ain't gonna lie about it. And then lastly, he does have fantastic Z users. Again, Heliolisk and Ampipom are his Z users, and those two just get a bunch of different coverage, especially Ampipom. But Heliolisk is nothing to turn your shoulder against because it gets like Surf, T-Bolt, Hyper Voice, good for Normalium Z, and it'd be Stab, would do a lot of damage. Focus Blast too. Heliolisk is definitely something that, again, I really like that mon a lot, and I know it can do a few different things. But that is a really quick breakdown of his team. Again, I'm not really going to get into in-depth too much. The team I am bringing consists of Galvantula, Empoleon, Sneasel, Togetic, Licky, and Blaziken. Instead of making slides this week, I am going to be a little bit lazier and just put it on the Poke paste because, again, I don't want to reveal every single thing I brought to this game if I don't have to, because I could bring it later. And, again, I'm just lazy and there's some time constraints. But anyway, as I mentioned, the first one I am bringing is going to be Galvantula. Galvantula is basically a Life Orb attacker set with Webs, Volt Switch, Thunder, and Bug Buzz. It's pretty standard Galvantula. It does really good because it's only Electric Immunity and Sandslash, and Sandslash has pretty trash but def, so... yeah, that's Galvantula basically for you. Our second mon is a bulky Empoleon with rocks. It's going to be a pretty good pivot, as Empoleon always does. It also has Flash Cannon on it, as opposed to Scald this week, so that's going to be pretty cool. And yeah, Empoleon's just kind of here to pivot around his team. Our third mon is going to be Sneasel. It's a basically standard Sneasel with Ice Shard. Fourth mon is Togetic. This is pretty standard Togetic with Eviolite. It's got Dazzling Gleam and Roost and all that good stuff. It's basically the same Togetic I've been bringing every week this season, so yeah, maybe I should change that up at some point. Fifth mon is going to be Licky. Licky is rocking out with Toxic Protect. Leftovers, very bulky, as I actually have Cloud 9 to stop the rain. Well, not stop it, but stops the effects of rain. So I thought that was actually a really nice tech if you did decide to bring rain this game. So, yeah, that's going to be the Licky set. And then finally, we have a Choice Scarf Blaziken that is mixed, actually. I have Flamethrower, Superpower, and Knockoff as some attacks on it. And, yeah, it's supposed to just kind of clean up, make sure things don't get out of hand. And that is really the breakdown of my team. Again, I don't want to break down my team too much because I could bring some of this stuff later. Realistically, not many of these sets are going to be coming again, but I could throw something on there later. But that is going to be it for the quick team builder. Plus, I mean, you guys are here for the battle as opposed to the team builder, so I mean, it's kind of just getting to the battle quicker. But we're going to head over to Pokemon Showdown, and we're going to watch the battle. Alright, we have arrived at Pokemon Showdown, and Puffer did not bring the Heliolisk, so big sad that we don't get to see that, but I am going to lead off with the Licky because it's not great in this matchup, but can do something to everything on his team, so it would be a good lead in general. I apologize, I did shut the window so I could record this, and it is like 1,000,000,000 degrees in my house at the moment, so I apologize. I'm dying right now. But anyway, as you're going to see, he leads off with the Cofagrigus. As turn 1, we're just going to trade status as I click Toxic as Cofagrigus goes for the Will-O-Wisp, so I don't really mind getting burned too much. It's not really a big deal, as getting a Toxic off on Cofagrigus was really valuable to me. Now he's going to spit out an Articuno. I went for Flamethrower just to do some damage, and you're going to see here, Articuno takes 18%. This is a pretty bulky Articuno. It's got max HP at least. It definitely has some Spadef in it. But here you're going to see that everything speeds up is because I'm going to speed this part up a bit because it's pretty stall, I ain't going to lie. You see, this Articuno has Sub and Protect with Leftovers and Freeze Dry. So I'm thinking, after seeing this, the one thing I got out of this was, okay, this thing probably doesn't have Roost, so its only recovery is Leftovers. So if I can whittle it down a bit, that wouldn't be too bad. Right now I'm trying to play it more defensively because, again, Licky's not too important, so I don't really mind it taking damage here. But Empoleon is important, so I don't want it taking too much damage, just trying to beat out this Articuno. Plus, he does have pressure, so my Flash Cannons only come in so many times, as well as Flamethrower from the Licky, that's what it's called. I couldn't think of it. And again, I'm assuming this last move is Toxic, that's why I'm just kind of whatevering about it. But here I'm thinking, okay, I need to reveal Flash Cannon. I did get my rocks up in this situation, which is pretty cool. But you're going to see here, Freeze Dry is it's not doing a crazy amount to Empoleon, but it's hitting me harder than Leftovers is recovering, so yeah. Here he goes for Protect. I'm just, continuing to stall this out a bit. I apologize, this part is really stally. But I go for so this time, I'm then thinking at this point, okay, I can't mess around anymore with this thing. I need to just go offensive and go into Galvantula and need to get some damage. I go for a Volt Switch though, and it does half, but I was expecting him to switch out, but he didn't. And I go to Empoleon, I get crit Freeze Dry, and now I'm thinking, and then now this Articuno reveals Roost. So this thing is just stall as hell. And I'm thinking, I need to just kill it. So I'm going out to Galvantula, and I'm just gonna click Thunder at this point because he can't PP stall me out of Thunder and Roost and whatever. It's not gonna work. So I'm gonna click Thunder. It does a solid 75% to this Articuno, and Articuno is gonna get a decent amount of chip on me with Freeze Dry. So that's a little unfortunate. But at least now I can Volt Switch out on this Articuno, and if I want to switch out, then I'll get Initiative. So Articuno finally drops to turn 20 into the game, and that was a very annoying part of the battle to go through. I go into get it because it basically just does good against everything against this team. As Ambipom comes out, I'm fine with this, but this Ambipom is going to really be nasty plot, so I'm thinking, oh, there's going to be some nasty plot Technician shenanigans, I bet, as D-Gleam's going to do a decent chunk to Ambipom, but since I don't really need Licky, I'm going to just sack that thing off, because Togetic is pretty important still. As Ambipom does go for the Thunderbolt, I do love it because Licky is a thick boy. And then after this turn of Burn and Leftovers, this Ambipom is going to click Round, which is really neat because that is Technician boosted and Stab. So I think they get stronger. I think Echo Voice gets stronger each turn. Anyway, I go into Blaziken, I'm Scarf, and I just click Knock Off, knock it out. I didn't want to give that Toad a free switch in, that's why I decided to go for Knock Off over any other move. So yeah, but this does give Hitmonchan a free switch, so I'm going to go out into Togetic. It's my only real switch into this thing at this point. And this Hitmonchan is a little scary actually for my team if it gets boosted too much, as it's going for Bulk Up. This turn I'm going to go for D-Gleam just to get some chip, as luckily Hitmonchan goes for another Bulk Up, which allows me to get some crucial chip damage on it. It does a lot, 56%. Hitmonchan's got pretty good Spadef, and this is where Puffer finds out that I'm actually a very, very defensive Togetic, because I live the +2 Ice Punch, even if it's Iron Fist boosted, and I knock out the Hitmonchan with D-Gleam, so things are looking good right now, but I decide here I'm going to actually save my Togetic, because that Sand Slash in the back, Scarf Earthquake, is looking very scary, so I need to save something like Togetic so that doesn't completely defeat me. I'm going to Empoleon, as this Politoed actually has Focus Blast, and he actually hits it. So I go for Toxic. I wasn't expecting Focus Blast, it threw me off guard. But now this Politoed is on a timer. I can revenge it pretty easily offensively, but Puffer is lucky he's gotten rolled, actually hits 2 Focus Blasts. No, it's just, I never run Focus Blast because it always misses for me. But now I can just go into Galvantula and click Thunder and just claim a kill basically, unless Sand Slash wants to come out. But this Politoed actually tanks the hit. This Politoed is fat. I don't even know if it's fat. I don't actually know the calc. I know Politoed's got good Spadef, but that just shocked me because it's a Life Orb, Stab, Thunder, and it still lived. But Politoed goes down now, but that was just whack to me. I go to Blaziken because it's overall safe play. If Sandslash wants to come in, Flamethrower is going to do a buttload to it. As I can live anyone hit from Cofagrigus, so I just hit Flamethrower here. As this Cofagrigus actually clicks Memento. So at this point, I'm thinking, how does the Sandslash beat me? Sandslash cannot boost its speed, so I'm not sure exactly how it's going to beat me here. So I'm going to click Flamethrower to not give it like a free sub or whatever. And it still does a lot of damage too. And Sandslash just gets Swords Dance. It doesn't get priority, so I'm thinking, what in the world is Puffer doing here? How can this thing beat me? I click Flamethrower here, and there's a lot, and I do get the burn, so that kind of just secures me the game at this point. Earthquake still nukes me, even if it is burned. It's a neutral Sandslash, but there's that. And I can just go out into Sneasel at this point. And it's because of the burn, I can just click Ice Shard, and I'll just knock it out, because if it was at like 28%, it'd probably be a roll. But I knock out Sandslash, and that is going to be the game. So GG to Puffer, we are going to win 2-0. And at the end of the game, afterwards, Puffer did tell me that he had Sandstorm, Sandveil, Sandslash. It's not Z Sandstorm where you boost your speed, but your evasion does go up in the sand. So I definitely could have missed some moves with Sneasel or Blaziken at the end there, and I could have lost that game. But I didn't because I knocked it out with Flamethrower Blaziken in the end. So that's how it ended up going. Again, not the most even game in the entire world, but it was still really fun regardless. GG to Puffer one more time. Make sure to go check out his YouTube link in the description below and his side of the battle if he ends up uploading it. I'm sure he will. We are going to move up to a 6-1 record, which is actually really good for us. One of our best starts, if not, I think it is the best start to a season I've ever had, even though the season's more than halfway done now. We have taken down an undefeated team in Puffer, so he is also now 6-1. There is only one undefeated team left, and it is Savage King, the one guy we have lost to this season. So we won't have our chance to beat him in the regular season, but maybe we'll meet him at some point in the playoffs and face him there and beat him there. But that is going to be it for the video. Next week we take on another YouTuber, Thriller, and his all-star team. He made some transactions with a few coaches, and his team is absolutely busted now. So I don't remember what it was beforehand. I just remember beforehand it wasn't that, like, whatever. But now it's just like, oh, God. But that's going to be next week. Thank you guys for watching the video. If you enjoyed, please leave a like. If you like Pokemon Draft League content, consider subscribing to the channel. I'm going to head out of here. Have a fantastic day, YouTube.